Hashtag homeless. Day 48. Here we go. Let me get into this. I don't even know where to start today. I grabbed my stuff and walked out of that shelter this morning, and I am this close to grabbing my full backpack, everything I own out of that place, and just going out into the woods. I don't care about the consequences anymore. They treat people like such trash at this place. It's not worth it. It's almost, I don't know if it's worth it or not. That's where I'm at. Every single person that's staying in the shelter will agree with me wholeheartedly with every word that I am about to say about how horrible these places are and how you're down on your luck, so that gives someone the right to treat you like you're a worthless piece of trash and you're not even a human being anymore. You're just a 2-year-old child that they can scream and yell at and, treat you like you are nothing but a piece of trash who, obviously whatever you did to end up here, you deserve it. And that gives us the right to strip you of your humanity and just treat you like garbage. I'm fucking done with it, man. I'm done with these fucking people. I've been holding my tongue for so long, and this is just, I don't know. It's the 3rd of July. Tomorrow, everything's going to be closed. The library will be closed. I don't know where I'm going to go try to work. I don't want to stay in that godforsaken place all day long tomorrow, even though they'll probably allow us to. I won't get anything done. They won't let me use the Wi-Fi to do my work, so why bother? I'd rather just go sit in a park all day. No fireworks. I won't be able to go watch the fireworks because I haven't seen a sunset in months. I haven't even, because I'm not allowed to be outside. If you don't come back to the shelter by 9 o'clock, you get kicked out for the night with whatever you have. So a t-shirt and jeans, I get to sleep outside under a bridge in the park, whatever, because they lock the door at 9 o'clock. If you're not in, you're out. They won't even let you go in and get your coat or, what you might need. And I guess that's how all homeless shelters work. I don't know. The whole thing's a fucking racket. It's bullshit. I'm sorry about swearing. It's like the reason why I'm in such a bad mood every morning, I figured it out because I'm not like this by the end of the day. But I go back to the shelter about 8 o'clock at night because I can't stand being there. So you get treated like garbage all night. You get yelled at, time for bed, go to bed, beddy bye time. You wake up in the morning, they're condescending towards you, they treat you like garbage, and then you walk out the door, and this is where I'm at. Like, mentally, this is where I'm at, and now it's going to take time for me to, lower that level of just being sick of this place. I am at the point where I would rather live in the woods. I'd rather just pack my backpack. I've got the means to cook. I've got shelter. I've got what I need. I can easily find a place where I could even wash my clothes and take care of that kind of stuff. But I don't know what probation will do if I just decide to do that. That's really the only thing. That's the one and only thing holding me back. I would have already left by now. I'm just trying to hold out that maybe something will break. Maybe some good news will come. But this is corporate America's, week-long holiday, 4th of July week. So there's going to be no movement on the job front. Last night, 11 o'clock, time to go to bed. Time to go to bed. Get up there. Lights out. Time for bed. That's how they yell and scream at you when it's time to go to beddy bye time. And so the two people that worked there last night, they kept coming into the room, flashing their flashlights and their strobe lights and yelling and screaming at people for over an hour because there was a couple of people that were like, one guy had a headlamp with the red light on, and he was just going through his box of stuff. I don't know what he was doing. He wasn't bothering anybody. He wasn't making any noise. but the people that work there, the shelter people, kept coming into the room for over an hour. And they have these really bright flashlights. And they're like, and the one dude kept turning his flashlight into a strobe, like he's some sort of fucking cop or something, yelling at, hey, it's time for bed. You need to get in the bed. It's time for bed. Lights out. Get in the bed and go to sleep. It's time to go to sleep. And I'm like, dude, nobody can go to sleep with you flashing a strobe light at everybody and screaming and yelling. And it's like, what are we, 2 fucking years old? Am I in my pajamas and it's time to be put in my crib and go to sleep for the night? And if I, want to get up and go to the bathroom, mommy and daddy are like, what are you doing out of bed? Like, what the fuck, dude? I'm a 48-year-old man. I'm not going to get treated like I'm 2 years old. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm done with this shit. I'm done with it. And then 5 minutes, not even, I'm awake this morning for less than 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. And I walked down to get my locker key so that I can get some, my phone and stuff out of the locker. And I'm getting shaken down about my job search right off the bat. So did you find a job yet? How many jobs you applied to? Blah, blah, blah. How's your job search going? How's the job? How come you don't have a job yet? Here's 3 jobs you should go look for. Okay, fine. But I've been awake for 3 fucking minutes, dude. 3 fucking minutes. And you're going to shake me down. I get shaken down 10 times a day about what have I done to look for a job. At least. I have to go on 3 appointments. I have appointments today probably. I don't even know. I got to go fill out stacks of paperwork and record every single thing that I do for looking for a job to keep people happy and to keep them off my back. And I'm turning in a printout of 5 8.5 by 11 pages of everything I do to look for a job down to the nearest 15-minute intervals. And 3 minutes after I wake up today, I got to get shaken down about my job search. Like, can I just sit for 5 minutes without you people being up my fucking ass about how did you not find a job today? Like, can I have 15 minutes to just relax without getting shaken down? I'm done with this. I'm doing what needs to be done to find a job. I don't need to be treated like I'm 2 years old. And then the icing on the cake this morning, they have these keys for the lockers, and you have to give the key back to the person in the office, and that's fine with me. That actually, it's better than carrying the key around on your own because you might lose the key. But they keep them in the office, and anytime you need to get in and out of your locker, you just go ask for the key. It's not a big deal. That I don't have a problem with that. But I gave the guy who was in the office, he was up shaking everybody out of bed. And so I gave the key to somebody else that works there. And 2 minutes later, not even 3 minutes later, someone's coming up to me, hey, where's your locker key? I'm like, I gave it to, him. And now everybody's denying that I gave them the locker key. And so now they're yelling at me. Where's the locker key? Why didn't you give the locker key back? He says you didn't give him the locker key. I'm like, I put it right in his hand. Other people watched me put it right in his hand. And now I'm getting bitched at and yelled at about not giving back the locker key. And so I'm just like, you know what? They had another key for the locker. So I had them open my locker. I took my bag out and I just grabbed it and walked out the door. They're like, you're not staying for breakfast? I'm like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm out. Bye. I got to get the fuck away from this fucking drama. Done with it. So, yeah, I mean, put it in the comments. Adam is a, what did you call me? Bipolar, schizophrenic, because I'm a 48-year-old man who doesn't like being scolded at like I'm a 2-year-old child and treated like I'm a piece of trash. That, this is how they treat people in places like this. This is how they treat the old people in nursing homes when the family's not there. This is how public do-gooders treat people behind closed doors when, the cameras are off. And so all you people out there who think, why do these homeless people somebody's going to give them a roof and a bed and they're going to turn it down because they don't want to get treated like dog shit. They don't want to get treated like shit by these people, and they'd rather sleep outside under a bridge than get treated like shit in a shelter like this. That's the bottom line. Go on, if you want to look more on the subject, go to YouTube and type, why do homeless people refuse shelters in the subject line, and you're just going to find all kinds of stuff. And on the flip side, it's clean. There's no bed bugs as far as I'm aware. There's no lice as far as I'm aware. It's clean. When I first got to this place, I was like, oh wow, this is not what I expected. I thought it was going to be a dirty hole, a dirty, miserable hole. But in spite of the fact that it's clean, in spite of the fact that, there's a good side to the place, I'm just not bringing it out today. There's a good side to it. And I'm not even gonna go to the level of saying that these people hate you, or that I don't understand. I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to describe it to where it makes sense to people, because there's just this air of, well, these are just homeless pieces of shit, so we can treat them like garbage, and what the fuck are they going to do about it? They got nowhere else to go. That's like the attitude that I feel like I see every day that I'm there. And so the longer I'm there, the more I just want to stay away from the place until I absolutely have to go back. And first thing in the morning, I'm going to get the hell out of there and just, do what I have to do to get through the day, and then go back to this miserable place and go to sleep. I mean, that's really where I'm at right now. And I'm at the point where, give me 3 days of solid downpours and thunderstorms and bad weather, and maybe I'd change my mind and say, this isn't so bad. But it's chaos. I'm not kidding when I say every single person staying at that place hates it. Hates being treated like garbage. Hates being talked down to. You're in a bad spot. And, the place that gives you a roof over your head, they treat you like that. It's just, everybody that I'm going to start talking to people there if they want to, get on this video channel. I just got to, tactful. I got to be a little tactful with, because a lot of people, who wants to get on YouTube and talk about this stuff to the whole world? I don't even know why I'm doing it, to be honest, other than the fact that it just felt like something I should do. Document. My best friend, he said, just document what's going on. Document the real experience. Like, this is what it's really like. And it's my situation. It's not the same as anybody else's situation. Every single person living in this shelter has a completely different story about how they got there, and, what degree is my fault versus, stuff beyond my control is going to be different for everybody. I'm not judging the people that are there. There's some characters, that's for sure. But it is what it is. And I don't know, man. I'm trying to hold on, because I'm trying to get a job, and I'm trying to do whatever puts me in the best position to get a job. And if it means having to put up with this for another, I don't know, I'm sure by the end of the day, I'll come to the realization that if I can just put up with this for a few more weeks. But honestly, if I pack my bags and get out of here, I'm going to walk to Buffalo. It's like 100 miles, I think. I don't know exactly, but I'm going to go to Buffalo. I'll be homeless in Buffalo and look for a job there. There's more jobs. I already know where I'm going to sleep each night. If I do walk to Buffalo, I've already planned this out. I know how I'm going to get there. I know where I'm going to camp and sleep each night. So if it comes down to it, I'm just going to walk to Buffalo. Fuck it. I'm done. I don't know how many more days I can do this. I just don't. I know that there was a guy recently who moved into an apartment, and he stayed at this homeless shelter for almost a year. So some days are better than others. Maybe, it's a bad night. It was a bad night and a bad morning. It was kind of like the night where they woke us up at 4 a.m. with the high-pitched alarms yelling at us to jump out of bed because it's a fire drill. It's just, wow, man. I wasn't planning on talking about the homeless shelter this morning at all. I had a whole bunch of other stuff to talk about, and then it's just all this drama that I want nothing to do with this place. And here I am outside just sitting on a park bench talking about the shelter. So I might just push some of the other topics down for tomorrow because it's the 4th of July and, who knows, it'll be a more relaxed day, I hope. But man, I wasn't even planning on being in a bad mood today, man. I was all right last night. When 8 o'clock came and I went back to the shelter, I was all right. I was actually feeling really good. Yesterday was even though I had to go to social services and do all this busy work and stuff, it wasn't even that bad. I got to talk to somebody who was helping me out with some stuff. It all worked out. You guys have been asking me to take you on a tour of Jamestown, and so I've been putting those little videos together. Anytime I see something that you guys might want to see, I'm shooting a quick little video, and I'm just going to put all those together and give you a nice walking tour of the beauty of Jamestown, New York. But it's not going to be in today's video. Let's see. Yeah, so I mean that was my morning so far, and I don't know. Yesterday morning was kind of rough. It was nothing but garbage software issues. I spent the first 3 hours of yesterday doing nothing but work around modern garbage software bugs. It didn't matter what I was working on. It just had this feeling of like spiritual warfare, I guess you could say, because everything I did, the software was glitching out. And so, for example, this phone, it fills up pretty fast with these large video files. And so, like, every 10 days or so, I need to dump all the video files onto an external hard drive. And yesterday, every single method that I tried to do it was a failure. And it should have only taken half an hour at the most. And here I'm screwing around with it for 3 hours. But on the flip side, on the positive side, I did stumble upon a good file transfer app for the Mac. It allows you to directly connect your Android phone via USB, but unlike all of the paid apps that do this free app, it actually worked. It worked almost flawlessly. One of the transfers froze, and I had to force quit the app and restart the app. But then I did the transfer again, and it went through just fine. It's called OpenMTP, and that once again, OpenMTP. So it's a pretty decent app, but, like all modern software, it's sloppy. The application designer, he never added a list view for viewing your files on either your computer or the device you're transferring from. But it's a free app, so, who am I to complain? If the app works, so be it. But it's in thumbnail mode. So if you're on a Windows computer or a Macintosh, when you're in the thumbnail mode of viewing your files, you can't see the full file name. It'll just be part of the file name with ... It's called truncation. It's truncated. And so if you have file names that are longer than 8 characters, you can't read the file names on this app. And, once again, modern software designers, they could care less about the usability of their products. And it wouldn't even be hard to create a list view where you can actually see the file names. And the funny thing is, people on this guy's website have been complaining about the lack of a list view for over 3 years, and the guy, the developer doesn't care. But, once again, it's a free app, so it's not, take that with a grain of salt. I'm not gonna complain to the guy. I'm gonna complain on this video, but it's just an example of how modern software is just sloppy trash. The way I look at it, considering that this app is made specifically for browsing and copying files between two locations, it would make sense for it to have a list view and follow the standard that every single file copying software ever made since the beginning of personal computing follows. Even DOS or the Mac OS terminal or Linux, they have a list view where you can see the file names of the files you're trying to copy. So, the fact that this guy just left it out, I'm just like, you're such a useless tool that you're on clearance at Harbor Freight. What the heck, dude? I stole that insult from one of you guys in the comments. I told you I was going to find a place to use it, and it just seemed to fit right there. So, but anyway, that's some basic stuff right there. And this app developer, he just doesn't care. If the app developer has to use the software himself, how do you use this without a list view to see your file names that you're trying to copy from one device to the other? Dude, did you not see that as a problem when you used it yourself? But I don't know, man. There's so many products that people just don't test anymore. A friend of mine, he had a toilet. And this is the best product test or lack of product testing example that I can think of right now. A friend of mine, he had this toilet, and we called it the Cadillac toilet because it looked like a recliner, and it was all this modern design, and it was all sleek, and it was slanted in certain directions. It wasn't just a bowl with a seat on top. It was this modern looking stylish thing. But the bowl had this certain slant to it so that it curved down and all the water was in the front. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because all the water, the pool in the toilet bowl kind of pools in the front of the bowl. And so, but where your butt is on the toilet seat is toward the back of the bowl. So when you take a crap, your turds, they just drop down to the bowl and they don't land in the water. And so you end up with this pile of turds on the bottom of the toilet bowl that didn't hit the water, and they're just there. And then when you flush the toilet, the water just kind of runs over the turds like it's a stone in a river. And the turds don't move, and they just sit there, and they sit there. And you flush this toilet 3 or 4 times, and you've just got this pile of turds in the back of the bowl that can't get flushed because they never made it in the water in the first place. And so when I see this toilet, I'm just like, you know what? I'm not even dealing with this. You can clean it yourself. So everybody who goes to this dude's house, that's what you do. You just take a dump and you let the turds sit there and let the host clean it up later because, obviously, somebody should have taken a test dump on this toilet. At the toilet factory, did they not have someone to take a test dump and see if this toilet actually works? This modern new, we're changing the future of toilets right here. We got a toilet that won't even flush your turds down the hole. Give me a break, man. Nobody tested this. Nobody tested this toilet bowl. You probably would need a hose next to the toilet so that you can spray down the turds after you're done taking a dump. And it just blows my mind that they sold this thing, and the only way that you can take a dump on this thing and actually get it to flush is if you sit on the very front edge of the toilet seat and drop it straight down into the water. But the thing is set up like a recliner, like you're supposed to sit back like a lazy boy and drop them in. So I don't know. Or maybe you stand up and you squat over and you try to aim for where the water's going to be. I don't know how you're supposed to use this thing, but everybody who went to this guy's house hated that toilet for the same reason. But then at the end of the day, it's like, well, it's not my house, so let him deal with it. And so, yeah, I mean, that's some basic shit right there. No pun intended. Like, when you make a product, test it. Test your product. See if the thing actually works. Put it in a real world situation and see if the thing actually works before you manufacture it, before you give it out to the public. But that's not how companies operate anymore. You know, the people driving around in their Tesla self-driving car, you're the product tester. So if that car drives you off a cliff or crashes you into a wall or blows up like one of Elon Musk's rockets, keep in mind, that's because you're the product tester. You're not the customer, you're the tester. They're just going to take that data. Oh, we got some good data out of that crash. Well, let's see why the car drove off a cliff. We got to patch that bug. That was the developer that we had to fire last month because he was getting high all the time and watching cat videos on YouTube instead of doing his job. You think I'm going to get in Elon Musk's self-driving car and let that car take me somewhere? You're out of your mind. I know how that stuff is built. There's no way I'm going to do it. Let's see. Yesterday I saw that, I'm down to 6% on this battery, so I'm going to have to probably wrap this up. There's a whole bunch more to talk about. We're at 26 minutes now. I picked a different spot to sit. I can see the sun's got me looking kind of weird today, but whatever. I don't care. I got 6% left on this battery. I'm gonna go try and find a place to go have breakfast and maybe get a charge on my phone, because I've still got an hour and 15 minutes before the library opens, and I just can't sit in that shelter. Anyway, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you learned anything, if you're gonna go design a new toilet, take a test dump before you sell it to the public. That's the lesson for today's video. And with that, I'm gonna let you go. Peace out. We'll talk tomorrow. Oops. What the hell? Hey, all right, hold on. All right, now peace out.